wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, dear brothers and sisters, to a program Question Time on Islam. Unfortunately, Brother Naveed was not able to host the program today, and therefore I have taken his place for this evening tonight. We have with our regular guest, Moulana Musawi, who will be answering your Islamic questions that you have related to fiqh, ahkam, and etc. And I would like to introduce Sayyidina. Welcome to the program, Sayyidina. Inshallah, I hope you are okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. May Allah bless you and all our brothers and sisters all over the world, wherever they are. May Allah Ta'ala increase His bounties on all the mu'mineen and mu'minat, especially in these great nights. And tonight, the night of the anniversary of Al-Hassan from the marriage which is being approved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the marriage between Fatima alayhi salam and Amir al-Mu'mineen, because there is no human being on this earth who is entitled to be husband to Fatima alayhi salam, but only and only Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali alayhi salam. From this heavenly marriage, the first issue was Imam Hassan alayhi salam, the Imam who was being named by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because when Imam Hassan was born, Amir al-Mu'mineen did not name him. Fatima did not name him. They referred to the Prophet, and the Prophet, I will not name him but wait from Allah to name him. Allah sent him the name Hassan. The scholars say that the name Hassan was the first time used by Imam Hassan alayhi salam. The name Hassan was not being used by anyone before the Imam who is the first son of Ali and Fatima alayhima as-salam. Imam Hassan alayhi salam is the great Imam about whom the Prophet said that Hassan and Hussain are the two masters of the youth of the paradise. Sayyida Shabab Ahlil Jannah, the masters of all the youth of the paradise. Imam Hassan alayhi salam is the Imam who saved Islam. Many people think that Imam Hassan alayhi salam role in Islam is secondary. No. The role of Imam Hassan alayhi salam in Islam, in saving Islam, is not less than the role of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Imam Hassan saved Islam when Muawiyah wanted to destroy Islam. And Muawiyah, using the great money from Sham, wanted to use that money in taking over the government. Whatever he does, he will do. For him, no barriers. Killing anyone, as he killed Imam Hassan himself after having a treaty with him. So Muawiyah had no barriers, no limitations. anything for Muawiyah was possible. So when Imam Hassan alayhi salam saw a man who wants the government by any cost, even if he destroys Islam altogether, Imam Hassan alayhi salam wanted to save Islam. So he agreed to enter into a treaty. That treaty put the conditions on Muawiyah to keep Islam safe on the conditions which Imam Hassan alayhi salam put on Muawiyah. Imam Hassan agreed to enter into the treaty, at least to save Islam. No doubt Muawiyah did not honor the conditions, but after all, some conditions from Imam Hassan alayhi salam remained. The result of the treaty between Imam Hassan alayhi salam and Muawiyah, the result is obvious. Azan remained, namaz remained, fasting remained, Hajj remained, Quran recitation remained, and many things in Islam remained. Yes, the ruler was corrupt himself. Muawiyah was corrupt himself, and he remained corrupt. But the main aim is not who holds the chair. The main aim of Imam Hassan, Islam to remain, Islam to be preserved, Islam to remain as the religion of the whole ummah and the whole world. And alhamdulillah, because of the we and you and all Muslims, including all the 4 Sunni sects, all the Sufis, all the Salafis, Ahlul Hadith, everyone are practicing the main practices of Islam. That is a result of the great jihad of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. So all of us and all the Muslims are indebted to the great sacrifice of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. Yes, please.
Thank you, Syed. This is a very touching point where you said that even Imam Hassan's sacrifice was no less than Imam Hussein's sacrifice. It's something that we sometimes don't understand and comprehend, and therefore thank you for elaborating this to us, Sayyidina. I have a few questions, Sayyidina, that we've been sent by the brothers who are watching and sisters that are watching the program. So the first question, Sayyidina, is this: Assalamu alaikum. My question is, if a non-Muslim or Hindu neighbor gives you food, can you give it to another non-Muslim neighbor, or is it better to throw it away?
If you get a food, the food might contain non-halal, something which is non-halal, like pork. If the food contains pork, then any food containing pork cannot be given to any other human being, no matter what is his faith. Any food containing pork, you should not offer it to any other human being. But if the food does not contain pork, but contains non-halal, say mutton or beef, then you can give it to any non-Muslim who usually does not care for the food to be halal or not halal. If the food does not contain any meat, say vegetarian food, but it was being touched by wet hands by a mushrik, you can give it also to any non-Muslim who does not care, who does not have anything to stop him from eating it. Better than throwing it on the dustbin, give it to someone else who can utilize it. But it should not contain pork. Also something, if the food contains alcohol, sometimes some people gift you a bottle of beer or alcohol, especially those people who go to some hotels. Some hotels, they give their guests a bottle of alcohol out of marketing. So what shall we do with such bottle of alcohol? Are we allowed to gift it to someone else who utilizes alcohol? The answer is no. We are not allowed at all to give any alcohol to any human being. There is no way that we can make anyone else drink alcohol, because alcohol is absolutely haram. So the matter of the food, if it contains alcohol or pork, then we have to destroy it. If it contains any non-halal or vegetarian najis, then you give it to anyone who can utilize it. We should also mention that not every food coming from non-Muslim is najis. We don't say that any food gifted to you from non-Muslim is to be thrown away. No. Only the najis food. If non-Muslim gifts you a food which is not najis, for example, someone gives you dry nuts which were not being touched with wetness while preparing or manufacturing, it is not najis. So we don't say that any food coming from non-Muslim is to be thrown away. No. We say only the najis food. And najis food given to even by a Muslim must be thrown away. If a Muslim does not care for the Islamic rules, he offers you food which is najis. Can you utilize it? No. So the criteria is the food, whether it is tahir, pak, pure, or najis. If non-Muslim gives you or gifts you any food which is not najis, then you are allowed to utilize it, consume it. If Muslim gives you najis food, you are not allowed to consume it. The criteria is tahir or najis. That should be noted. Yes, please.
So while we are discussing food, Sayyidina, there's another point as well. Salam, Sayyidina. If you are fasting, can you have gum? Can you have gum? As some marja say, it's okay as long as no particles. He didn't finish the sentence, or she, to swallow. So can you chew the gum, I assume, while you're in the state of fasting?
Can someone during fasting use gum?
Chewing gum. Yes,
chewing gum. Is it?
Yes.
Chewing gum, is it?
Yes.
Permissible?
Yes, that's the question.
It depends. It depends on the contents of the gum. Some gums usually most of the gums contain sugar and some fruit flavors and some other contents. No doubt such gum, chewing it will make the contents come out and be mixed with the saliva. So it is not permissible to swallow that contents or ingredients. If someone chews gum with sugar and other ingredients and deliberately swallows the saliva, then his fast will be invalid and he has to pay kafara and do qaza for that day, and it is a sinful act because he has broken his fast deliberately. But some types of gum which are 100% plain, means no material in the gum at all, no sugar, nothing at all. Whenever the people chew it, nothing comes out from it. Nothing comes out of it at all, but only their own saliva. In that case, swallowing your own saliva is permissible and it does not harm your fasting.
Thank you, Sayyidina, for that clear answer. So Sayyidina, just to add on, I'm just adding on to help anyone on this question. If someone starts chewing the gum before suhur ends, and then can he continue chewing the gum throughout the day, for example? That's okay, yes? It's permissible.
Before sahar or before zuhur?
Yes. No, sahar.
Before sahari.
Yes.
Okay. If someone started chewing a gum before sahri, he can continue during sahri, but he must stop before fajr. He must stop before fajr, because from fajr our fasting starts, and during fasting we should not swallow anything which is not our own saliva. I say that the content of the gum, if it has something additional like sugar or whatever, anything added to it.
Thank you, Sayyidina. Sayyidina?
That is not permissible to, so they are allowed to offer it. Yes?
Right. Sorry, we had an internet problem. I apologize, Sayyidina. There was an internet problem, but thank you, Sayyidina. Can I ask the next question, Sayyidina?
Bismillah.
So there's a refrigeration engineer. My employer sends me to repair cold room in which they store non-halal food. Am I allowed to repair those cold rooms even though they have some haram food in there or something that is not legal?
Muslim is allowed to work as a refrigeration engineer as far as he does not help sinful act. Means if the cold storage does not contain pork, if it does not contain pork, yes, it is permissible to repair it. But if it contains pork, then no. Muslim is not allowed to help in the consumption of pork because it is absolutely haram.
And say that if, say, the content of the storage cold room or refrigerator is mixed, so it has some pork, but it has some halal as well, and some makruh food, mubah food, what should the individual do then?
We have to be sure that the store or the cold storage. The cold storage does not contain pork, even if it contains 1% of pork and 99% of other items. 1% pork is not permissible for us to help people to consume it. So as far as the cold room does not contain any percentage of pork, then it is permissible. Otherwise, if you are sure that it contains any percentage of pork, I say pork. I don't say any non-halal food. Non-halal food like chicken, like mutton, like beef, non-halal for non-halal people who don't care, not for Muslims. If you know that this man is selling the non-halal meat to Muslims, then it becomes not permissible for you to help him, because he is feeding Muslims something which is not permissible for Muslims. But if you know that this cold room is having non-halal meat, not pork, which is being used or will be used for non-Muslims, then it is permissible for you to help in this job.
Thank you, Sayyidina. So, dear brothers and sisters, as you heard from Sayyidina, that anything to do with alcohol and pork, we should avoid at all costs. Now, Sayyidina, there's another question. Thank you, Sayyidina. So there's a person called, my name is Haider Ali. He says, Ya Ali Madad. And the question is, after Namaz Fajr, is it okay to go sleep straight away, or should someone stay awake till sunrise? And if he does go to sleep quickly, does his namaz become batil, or it's okay?
Number one, usually it is highly recommended to be busy after morning namaz till sunrise in worshipping Allah. After namaz, we recite tasbih of Janab Fatima, we recite Ayat Al-Kursi, we recite Surah Al-Hamd, we recite Surah Al-Tawheed, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, and we recite dua, any dua, dua al-sabah, any dua, and Quran. So it is highly recommended to be busy between Fajr and sunrise in worshipping Allah. But sometimes, especially in the month of Ramadan, when someone was awake before Fajr for Sahri, and then after namaz he feels sleepy and he goes to rest after performing Subh namaz. Is it wrong? Not wrong. And the person who said that your Subh namaz will be invalid is not knowing what he is telling. He is not knowing what he is talking about. Subh namaz is valid even if you sleep after Subh namaz. I say that in usual cases it is makruh to sleep between Fajr and sunrise, but for reasons like month of Ramadan and someone who was awake long before Fajr and he feels sleepy, he can sleep, and it is not at all invalidating his morning namaz.
Yeah, thank you, Sayyidina. So another question we have, Sayyidina, is this relating with the same thing regarding Salat. Salam Moulana, why is it more sawab to recite Namaz-e-Shab, Namaz-e-Layl, near to Fajr namaz? So why is it more sawab than reading Salat-e-Tahajjud near the time of the the time of the near the Fajr time, Sayyidina. I think Sayyidina is not there at the moment, and we will wait for him to come back online. But this question, if someone is listening, I would say that the reason is that we have narrations from the Prophet himself, where he's recommended to read Salat near the time of the Fajr time. It's more fazilat. So every Salat has a certain time where the Ibadah, the Salat is given more merit. Each prayer, so each wajib prayer that we have, for example, the Fajr prayer, the Zohr prayer, the Asr and Maghrib Isha, they all have a certain time where we call it the fazilat time, the meritorious time, and therefore you should read it on that time to get more sawab for this. And hence, each prayer you will find out when it is. It's not necessarily being, for example, reading Fajr prayer early at that time. No, for example, Zohar prayer and Asr prayer, they all have a fazilat time as well. When you read it on that time, you get more sawab. So I hope this answers the person who wrote this message. And we still don't have Sayyidina online. Let me refer.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yes, Sayyidina, you were disconnected, or maybe I was disconnected, I don't know. But there was a question was about why is the Namaz Fajr, between when the Salat al-Layl, more meritorious, more sawab to read just before Fajr time starts. What is the reason behind this? If you could answer this question, Sayyidina.
Namaz al-Shab, night prayer, is the most important recommended namaz in Islam. The most recommended namaz in Islam, and the great benefits of namaz al-Shab in dunya and akhirat. We have got a hadith when a person came to the Prophet of Islam, peace and blessings be upon him and his holy progeny, asking him to tell him about something which makes him successful in his business. The Prophet replied him, "Alayka bi salat al-layl." Perform namaz al-Shab, night prayer. The person asked another question to tell him about something which, if he does, he remains always healthy. The Prophet replied him, "Alayka bi salat al-layl," namaz al-Shab. The person asked about something which will make him always and his family safe from dangers and illnesses. The reply came from the Prophet, same, "Alayka bi salat al-layl," namaz al-Shab. The person was asking and asking and asking about every good in dunya and akhirat. The reply from the Prophet was same, "Alayka bi salat al-layl." Every good in dunya and every good after dunya, the way to it is namaz al-Shab. So the greatness of namaz al-Shab is out of our imagination. Even in Quran we read, فَلَا تَعْلَمُ نَفْسٌ مَا أُخْفِيَ لَهُم مِّن قُرَّةِ أَعْيُنٍ. No one knows. In Quran, Allah says, those who perform namaz al-Shab, no one knows what Allah has kept for them as a great reward. So namaz al-Shab is the greatest recommended namaz, which should not be left any night. And even if for any reason for illness, God forbid, for any reason it is being left, we should perform it as qada later on. Namaz al-Shab starts usually, according to the fatwa of most of our ulama, from midnight. But we have got other ulama who say that namaz shab can be performed anytime in the night, anytime after we finish namaz isha, anytime after isha, night is there, so we can perform salat al-layl, because layl, night, has started. So according to nowadays Ayatullah Sistani and other maraja, you can perform namaz shab anytime during the night before going to bed. Okay. More near to Fajr, more reward. Why? Because some people perform namaz shab and go to sleep. And those who go to sleep, sometimes they are able to wake up for morning namaz, and sometimes they sleep longer. You know, namaz shab is so important, but it is not more than morning namaz, because morning namaz is obligatory. Namaz shab is recommended. And the obligatory is much important than the recommended. So no one can leave morning namaz because he has performed namaz shab. No, namaz shab is very important, but namaz stop, morning namaz, obligatory, is more important. So this might be one of the reasons when we delay the namaz shab before Fajr, then you'll pray it, and then you'll pray morning namaz as well. So you will definitely get the great reward of namaz shab and the greatest reward of subuh namaz, morning namaz, on time.
Thank you, Sayyidina, for answering the question. Sayyidina, there's another question that we have is, Salam Moulana, after listening to Azan, are we allowed to recite Azan before Iqamat? Thanks. It's a very simple question.
Are we allowed to recite Azan before Iqamat?
Yes, I think the person got confused. Maybe he wanted to say Iqamat before Azan, but the question didn't come right.
Anyway, Azan is recommended, but not for every namaz. Azan is only for the 5 daily obligatory namaz only. No namaz for any sunnat. No azan, and no iqama for namaz shab, for example. No azan, no iqamat for namaz ayat, which is wajib. As you know, namaz ayat is wajib.
Yes.
No azan, no iqamat for namaz Eid.
Yes.
No azan, no iqamat for namaz mayyit, which is performed over the janaza of Muslim dead person. So azan and iqama is recommended for the only five daily prayers. This is number 1. It is recommended to say azan, especially at home. And at home, when you recite azan with loud voice, the barakat will be more in your house. And if anyone at home is not well, then the sound of azan removes away bad things from home. We have got in the hadith a mu'min asking the imam to help him because he has got at home problems and he has got financial difficulties. Imam told him, recite azan at your house loudly. And when he recited the azan loudly, then he got lot of benefits. So reciting azan at home loudly is very useful and very beneficial. After Azan, reciting Iqamat is more recommended, more important. In the hadith that when a mu'min recites, Azan, then Iqama, then performs his namaz, 2 rows of angels will pray behind him. If he recites Iqama only without Azan, then 1 row of angels will pray behind him. If he does not recite Azan nor Iqama and performs namaz without Azan and Iqama, he will pray alone. So reciting Azan and Iqama for man or women, highly recommended, wherever you are. It is also mustahab, recommended, that when you recite Azan, do sajda after Azan, then perform Iqamat. That will increase your reward. And also the sajda between Azan and Iqama, you can seek from Allah whatever you want. Yes, please.
Syed, while we're on the Salat topic, there's a question we have from one of our messengers. They said, Salams and duas, can you recite 6 takbir and make niyat for Salah and takbiratul ihram and continue Salah? So, I think this individual is talking about the 6 mustahab takbir that we say Allahu Akbar 6 times, and the 7th is the takbiratul ihram. So, they're asking, can we do this for wajib Salah?
It is recommended to recite 7 times Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, 7 times. The first 6 ones are not obligatory. The 7th one is the obligatory. That is, the 6 are not obligatory, just recommended. But the 7th one is the main one. After the 7th one, which is obligatory, then your namaz starts.
So Sayyidina, the niyat should be before the 6th takbir, or should it be after the 6th takbir, and then we do the 7th takbir? When should the niyat start? The niyat usually starts when it's not.
In fact,
if you can explain
niyat is the intention. When someone is standing and in his intention that he is starting morning namaz, that is a niyat.
That's right, Sayyidina. So, dear viewer, if you're watching the program, the niyat is when you've already decided to make your prayer. So when you, for example, you woke up and you said, now I need to pray Fajr prayer. So you've already made that intention. Niyat is intention. And then you go and do wuzu. So your wuzu is for Fajr prayer. And then when you stand for the Salat, you do your Azan, your Qama. Again, it's for the Fajr prayer. So you don't really need to say at that point, I pray 2 rakats for Fajr Qurbatanillah, Fajr namaz, because you've already made that intention. So of course, the intention has to be before you do the 6 takbir and then the takbiratul ihram. So the niyat has to be before, because you need to know what salat you are reading. Otherwise, your salat is invalid. So the niyat has to be already there before you even do any of those actions. Definitely before takbiratul ihram, because once you've entered the salat and you don't know which salat you're reading, then that salat is batil. So the intention should be already there, but by saying it, it helps. But this is not something that is said that this is something you have to say and this is wajib part of salat. No, it's just an intention you make in your mind and you continue the salat. Let me just refresh to see if Sayyidina's with us.
Hello.
Sayyidina, are you there?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Again, I say
about niyat. Niyat is not something which must be pronounced or said or declared. No. Niyat is not more than intention in your heart. So it is not necessary to say, I'm praying Maghrib namaz 3 rakat, or I'm praying Zuhr namaz 4 rakat. No, don't say anything. It is only in your heart. If someone wants to say that, we don't say it is haram to say it, but some of our ulama say it is makruh. Mainly, niyat is the intention in your heart to pray the namaz which you know, which is either Maghrib or Isha or whatever. That is the niyat which is obligatory. If you want to say it, you can say it anytime before the 7th takbirah of ihram.
Thank you, Sayyidina. Sayyidina, we have a question from a brother asking about khums. And there's a few questions he's broken it down to. So he's saying, when is it that you do not have to give khums? Is it on gift or a loan? For example, this is the one question he asked. Secondly, he asked how much the khums for the sadat. If he cannot find the sadat, can he give it to anyone else, or it has to be given to the sayyids? And who are the sayyids? Then the next part to this question is the part that it has to be given to the imam, the sahme imam. Who should he give that to? Should he give it to the maraja, or could he give it to a local mosque or something like this? How should he work with this khums?
Okay, let us take it one by one. One by one. The first question is, the first one is
say that it's about, is khums on a loan? So if you take a loan out or you give a loan, then is there khums on that?
Khums
and a gift?
Okay. Khums is obligatory on any income or any wealth or anything you own. After you take or use what you need to use for your expenses. That's why khums is calculated once every year. You can pay khums every month if you want, but not more than 1 year. Whatever income you have, you spend in lawful expenditure, then you calculate how much remained. Say if your income per month, say for example, is £200, then you spent, and then at the end of the year you found with you £100 remaining. That £100 attracts khums, which is 20%. So khums is 20% of any wealth or money or property or material that you have. Gift, mainly gift is like an income. If you get a gift from someone, you can utilize it. At the end of your khums year, if the gift is over, then no khums, because nothing remained from it. But if someone gave you a gift which is cash or any material, and something is remaining from that gift, that remaining amount should be calculated with your khums. Loan is not your own money. You have taken loan from someone. So loan is not owned by you. When you say loan, which means it is not your money. You have taken it as a loan. No khums on loan money, because you have to pay it back. It is not your own money, unless in some cases people take loan from the banks and they take the money with their own money, if they may become the owners of it. If you become the real owner of it, then it will also be calculated with your khums. But if it is really loan, which must be repaid to the owners, that is not your money. Yes, please.
Sayyidina, just to add on that point,
About
so that we can
Sahm Sadat and Sahm Imam. Sahm Sadat is half of the khums. Half of the khums. It is the right of the needy Sadat. Needy Sadat are in many places, and needy Sadat are in millions nowadays. In many countries, in Pakistan, India, Iraq, Afghanistan, Lebanon, many countries, Iran, you find needy Sadat in many places. If you don't know, ask the ulama who know, and the Sahm Sadat, the share of the needy Sadat, must reach to them, not to others. The other share, other half, which is called Sahm Imam, should go to the marja of taqleed or be spent according to permission from marja of taqleed.
Thank you, Sayyidina. Just one other question on this, Sayyidina, and I think we can wrap this part out. The loan. So there's one who takes the loan. You've explained that that's not his money, so he cannot give khums on that. But the person who's giving the loan, so the person who's giving the loan, so it's his money. Does he have to give khums on that loan?
Okay. The person who gave money to you as a loan remains the owner.
Yes.
He is the owner. That's why the khums is applicable on the owner. On the owner, yes. So the khums is applicable on the owner. Only in one case. If someone has given loan to someone else, and the person who took the loan denied giving the money back, then money is gone. No khums on the owner. But when the owner has given the money as a loan to someone and he knows that this money will come back, so the responsibility of the khums of that money lies on the owner.
So he can give the khums after the loan comes back, not before the loan coming back. Is that correct, Sayyidina?
Among the ulama, some say that he should give the khums immediately, and some say that if he cannot pay it now, then he might be allowed to wait till the money comes back, and then he pays the khums of that amount which he gave to someone as a loan.
Thank you, Sayyidina. I think we are now running out of time. If there's any last words you would like to say to the viewers, inshallah, Sayyidina.
I would like to, number one, again say Mubarak to all the mu'mineen in the wiladat of Imam Hassan alayhi salam. And I suggest to send a gift in the wiladat of every Imam, every Ma'soom, to send a gift. It depends how much you want to gift. Some people gift good amount of money as a charity on behalf of the Imam. He says, I want to give to my Imam in his birth anniversary such amount of money to the poor people on behalf of my Imam. Of course, the reward will be multiplied in thousands and thousands times. Some people can gift tasbih of salawat. Some people can give tasbih of Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad or tasbih of Surah Al-Hamd. Any good deed to be done, to be gifted, the sawab of it to be gifted to the Imam. Imam does not need that. We need it. We need it. When we present a gift to the Imam, Imam will pray for us. Imam will grant us great gifts from his generosity. So I suggest to all my respected mu'mineen, mu'minat, brothers and sisters and daughters and sons to send a gift tonight and tomorrow to Imam Al-Hassan alayhi salam by salawat, by Quran, by charity, by any good cause. Even if you go to your parents tonight and serve them and help them and cheer them and deal with them nicely, even if they are not alive, recite Fatiha for them do charity on their behalf, and you can gift the reward to Imam Hassan alayhi salam. That is a good gift that we present to our Imam. May Allah keep us with the faithful and obedient servants of Muhammad and Ali Muhammad, and especially our Imam Al-Mahdi Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Al-Sharif. And don't forget, tonight is 15th, and every odd night in the month of Ramadan, it is recommended to perform ghusl every odd night from the 1st till 19th. Odd means 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th. Tonight 15th, odd night. So ghusl in this night till we reach 19th. From the night of 20th, then ghusl becomes recommended every night from 20th till the end of the month. May Allah bless you all. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajjil farajahum.
Thank you, dear brothers and sisters, for watching the program. Inshallah, the next week you will have Brother Naveed with you, hosting the program. And those questions that are remained, we didn't have enough time. Inshallah, in the next program, Brother Naveed will answer those questions.